Hello, thank you for joining me, Nancy with North Star Ministry. I'm continuing in the book of Romans this morning, and I'm on chapter 2, so we'll just pick up where we left off yesterday, and we begin. Therefore, thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou, let me turn the page here. Whosoever thou art that judgest, for wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself, for thou that judgest doest the same things. But we are sure that the judgment of God is according to truth against them which commit such things. And thinkest thou this, O man, that judgest them which do such things, and doest the same, that thou shalt escape the judgment of God? Or despisest thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and longsuffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth thee to repentance? But after thy hardness and impenitent heart treasurest up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of God, who will render to every man according to his deeds. I just want to stop there for a second because, everyone, we incarnated in this world, right? We have a soul contract. We agree to put ourselves through certain situations at some point in our life that are going to bring about the lessons that we confront. And the purpose of those situations, those circumstances, those adversities, those trials, those challenges are, at a crossroads, in our lives. We hit those forks in the road when we face them head on, and we extract the wisdom from them, the truth from them. We put ourselves through them. We learn to embrace those challenges because those are what we go through, what we signed up for, to gain the lesson after it, through it, and because it becomes part of our life journey. It becomes part of who we become as a person through having gone through the lesson, the wisdom that we gain from having gone through the lesson. It adds to us. So as we stay in our own lanes in life, we are learning at our own pace. We know what we are here to do. We have our own missions, our purposes, our where we are in life at our point, because certainly from all the past life experiences, there are things that we didn't pick up through those times, and we got to come back, and if we have something that we maybe did to someone else in a past life, we come back and we work through it in this life, we overcome it. It's all part of the journey. But of course, you never go and step into someone else's lane and try to mess up and disrupt what they came to do, because then you are violating universal and spiritual laws. You're breaking laws because you don't know what that person is set out to do in this life. But if you interfere with their path, their mission, their purpose, it is a very serious, serious thing, because then your ass is dragged through the spiritual court above in the heavenly realm, and you are placed under judgment in that court. You're told and warranted to stop. God will send ministering angels to try to work with you, to get you to stop already, because God is the God of love. And he's very long-suffering, he's very merciful, he's very patient, and he's very tolerant. He will give a person time, and he will work with that person and really try to place barriers and blockages, try to prevent that person from interfering in another person's life path. But when that person does not heed after the angelic realm and ancestors and spirit team in heaven have worked with that person, try to get them to stop stealing, stop interfering, stop placing blockages, stop overstepping your boundaries, stop trying to prevent that person from going through their life, their soul contract, from performing their soul contract, because they're only hurting themselves. And at some point, it becomes so bad that there's no coming out of that. When God has had enough, when he gets involved, because the person just wouldn't stop. I'm placed here to break generational curses in my family. But when family members are fighting against what I'm here to do, because I have always prayed on behalf of my family members, and I stand in the gap for them, praying for their salvation. At some point that, the Lord would be merciful. It gives us the ability and the opportunity to pray without ceasing on behalf of those that we love, right? But when they are doing things, busy doing things in their life, continually stepping into my lane to try to stop me and prevent me, because out of jealousy and envy, they don't want to see me grow and evolve and ascend. They got a real issue with that. Well, these are demonic evil spirits that are embodying those people, that are preventing them, that are causing them to do what they do. They're acting out because they're operating out of their ego, okay? And that's where the devil has, you're just an open door to all those demonic entities to act out through you. That's all that is. But I'm just saying, it's the only hope that anybody has on the planet is to be reconciled to God through Jesus Christ. That is where you're on safe ground, because from then on, after you surrender to him, you give your life over to Christ, and you're on that walk, that straight and narrow walk. He's working it all out, all of the kinks in your life, and no one can frustrate God's plans in your life. Can't fight against God and win. Okay, so he'll work it out through you. But I'm just saying, in my life all along, there have been people praying for my downfall, and they just don't stop, and God has had enough. So it's all stopped now. And everything they dished out, they gotta receive it all back. And it's a terrible, terrible lesson for anybody to learn. When you don't know God, when you don't take up his word and precepts, and just try to gain wisdom. Try to learn how to live life even more abundantly by staying in your own lane. Everybody has their own lane. Everybody's got enough on their own plate to worry about, rather than sticking their nose all up in my business and trying to place judgment on me when they don't even know me. It's just crazy. But and it's it's cruel. But not only that, it's reckless. And it's very sad, because now they got to, whatever they dished out, it all comes back to them, multiplied, and it's terrible. Yeah. Oh, despiseth thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth thee to repentance. But after thy hardness and impenitent heart treasurest up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of God, who will render to every man according to his deeds.